All right, y'all. It has been a couple of days of just straight tragedy. Um, see all these chicken feathers? See any mamas? Boy, you're pretty needy today. All right, guys. I came home the other night and it was late. It was after hours. The sun had gone down, and when I rounded the corner over here, all I saw was a trail of feathers. Purple, lavender Orpington mom feathers. And then I started looking closer and I saw all the black feathers. So the term sitting duck is in probably in reference to broody moms. Maybe not, maybe it's just a duck just sitting there, but you guys know how the moms are when they're broody. They won't move off those eggs. The other girls tend to roost up there at the top. Makes them a little harder to get. They have the high ground that can peck a coon in the face if he's trying to get up there. And any wild animal that's attacking is always going to take, you're still pretty, always going to take the weakest, the slowest, which also tends to be the oldest. But in this scenario, it happened to be our two broody girls. So they still had about probably about 15 eggs under them. They had pulled some more in, but we were wrapping up, so I wasn't going to worry about the extra eggs that were under them. As soon as all my marked eggs were hatched, I was going to pull. You're getting dirty. I was going to pull the mamas out of there and all the extra eggs that they didn't need to be sitting on anymore to break them off the broody cycle. Yeah, I know I still need to tear this down. But I came here and both broody hens were missing. Trail of feathers from the barn along this path right here. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the trail kind of goes out that way under the fence right there. So I think what I'm going to do is just sit up here one of these nights when it's dark and just see what pops through there and dispatch it. So tragedy, yes. Still had about 3 or 4 days worth of babies to hatch, and with no moms to keep the eggs at the right temperature, that ended the even remote possibility that they would hatch out. Finnegan? What? Boy, I know. You just like your pets. I know. Sometimes, guys, you got to just slow down and pet the kitties. And so I in my mind, I was like, all right, well, I'll just wait. Give it one more day, maybe 2 more days, and see if anything pops out. And I kid you not, guys. I came in the chicken coop the next night, and there was a baby on the floor chirping. Had just hatched, was still a little bit wet, had worked his way out of the box, and was down on the floor. And I'm not kidding, just just unbelievable. Still alive. Took him downstairs. He's in the brooder downstairs right now, and he is doing great, or she. I'm not sure. You never know until they get big enough. But yeah, that little baby chick hatched and is still alive. So I did end up having to pitch the rest of the eggs. If you've ever had a chicken egg cook in the summer that had been half brooded, and then it's 80, 90 degrees outside, they explode. and they smell like what you think they would smell like, except worse. Somewhere between rotten eggs and dead animal. And they explode, and when they explode, they get all over everything, and yeah, you don't clean that off. So we did end up getting a total of 6 baby chicks and a Finnegan. Oh, got you right there. Ow, 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 ow. No, so we do have 6 baby chicks from the brooding this year, and they all lived, and so that's phenomenal. I would have liked to had the 15 to 18 that I had marked under there. And I would also, you know, I say that, but I'd also like to not have my hens haven't gotten eaten. I thought I had already taken care of all the coons. But I tell you, you know, there's a feather there, a couple feathers there. This time of year, I see all the mamas running around with their babies right now, and they're trying to feed their babies. And easy food is better food for wild animals. So we lost 2 girls. We got the 6 babies. I'm not pleased about that, but I'm pleased about having the babies. I'm not pleased about losing the mamas, but the other tragic news, guys, is we did lose a baby goat, and we'll talk about that in a second. Look, y'all, all I'm gonna say is of course she does. I'm not gonna get too close because I don't want to mess up the mojo. But of course she does. Of course you do, Mama. Hi, Frosty Mom. Can I pet you? Good morning. Good morning, babies. Yep, I didn't put that away. How fast can we knock it over? Little goofs. All right, all right, all right, all right. There you go, babies. Nope. Still some cleaning this morning, y'all. Still need to clean my porch off. Oh, goodness. My brain is just not. So, guys, as you know, I did say that we did lose a baby. It's very unusual to lose a baby this late in the year. However, yesterday we did lose one of the spicy nugs. We lost Mr. Sleepy, and you're gonna hear me say grumpy in the video, but it was not grumpy, it was sleepy. There was a lot going on. What are you doing? You got milk mustache. I don't know how you guys keep dragging these. I don't even know where you're getting them from. Anyway, probably because I set them over here. That's why I gotta pick everything up. So these guys, Sleepy was a spicy nug. He was a licorice baby. I believe licorice jack. So we had Tootsie, Sleepy, and Grumpy. And if you guys remember, if you go back and watch Licorice's birth video, she's the black goat right there. She, I believe it was 3/29 she gave birth. And we had the one little boy, the one little spicy nug, who was not spicy at the time. As soon as he came out, he kind of yawned a little bit, licked his lips, and then he laid down and took a nap. And he continued to just basically take naps and eat. And that was it. And that's why I called him Sleepy, because he was just a sleepy little guy. And to lose him this late in the year is weird. Hi. We believe it was most likely a thiamine deficiency, which you'll hear me talk about. That's basically, oh, hold on a second. sorry, thiamine is basically a B vitamin, and which is why part of the treatment is heavy doses of B complex. Oh, excuse me. And I know, buddy. See, this is the problem. I know, buddy. He's not coming back. This guy, and I'll explain why it's important. We went through yesterday, snatched up all the boys, gave them a once over. You're not chewing a hole in my shirt. Double, triple checked eyes for worm load. Because I think what happened is he got, so we just checked worm load last week. We literally, when little Drummy had her struggle with coccidia, we went ahead and did eye checks on everybody, checked worm loads on everybody, checked everybody's butts to make sure they didn't have any signs of coccidia, and wormed everybody who needed it, including the boys, all the goats. And there was no indication that little sleepy man had any issues with worm load at all. And yet, not even a week later, he's down and out. He was standing here, and I just thought he was getting a drink. He looked fine. I was cleaning water dishes and refilling, and he looked fine. And I came over and I just bumped him being a goof. Like, get out of there so I can refill water. And he staggered over there, and a big drool came out of his mouth, and he almost fell down. And I just jumped in here and grabbed him, and then we started treatment immediately, which I'll talk about a little bit about in the video I show you. It's basically heavy doses of antibiotics and B complex. It's just to try and hope to get the B complex back in their system. You start with a big dose right in the muscle, so you can get almost instantaneous B vitamins into the system. And then you do subcutaneous, which is under the skin. And you do it under the skin because it'll lay there in a pocket, and it'll slowly absorb into the body. So you hit them with a heavy dose of B complex right in the meat, and then under the skin, and just let it keep absorbing in slowly over time. You're going to do that like every 4 hours, every 4 to 6 hours, and antibiotics at the same time. And we were also drenching him with water because he was clearly dehydrated. I just don't get it. I mean, you just look at all the other boys. They look great. I mean, there's no issue at all. I mean, maybe he was just weaker. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. It's very unusual to lose a baby this late in the year. We also dewormed him. He was real pale on his eyelids, anemia, which is the issue you have with worms. And then that leads into them not wanting to eat, which leads into the vitamin deficiency. And then when I believe thiamine converts carbs into sugar for the brain, and so then they start losing brain function, and that's why you find them staggering around. They'll often have their head turned back or at a weird angles because it's just, I don't know, it's just what their brain does. Paralysis on one side of the face and head. So you'll see that when I talk about it. And guys, that's just, I gotta bury him today, so I will just leave you with I will leave you with the last video I shot of him, which was yesterday. He does not look good, so if you don't want to watch, I'll tell you just stop it right here. And I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. So that is it for today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm getting ready to jump into the sleepy video, so if you want to stop it now, just stop it now. All right, y'all, so this is Grumpy Man right now. I think he is suffering from a thiamine deficiency. He had a worm load. I kind of found him this morning. He was standing by the water. I thought he was just standing there getting a drink. And I just happened to be coming over to clean out the water dish, refill them, and he didn't move his head, and I poked him a little bit. I was like, get out of there so I can fill this water, you know, and he kind of staggered around and it just, you know, not right. So I snatched him, I ran in, snatched him up, drooling pretty heavily, staggering, pulling his head to one side, and about 50 other things that point to a thiamine deficiency, which is what they call in goats is polio. So, kind of thinking thiamine deficiency plus a little bit of a worm load. I've had to band-aid this side of his eye. One of the things with thiamine deficiency can be paralysis of one side of the face. And he's not able to close his eye and he has no reaction. And then this eye, you can see as soon as I get near it, he closes it. So this side's good. This side's not closing. I don't want to mess with him too much. But you can also see his ear's not exactly, that ear's up and perked. This one's just kind of dangling there. He's able to bring it up, but he doesn't. So we got him in the warm box, just making sure his body temperature maintains. 5 cc's of B complex. I put 2.5 in each of his back legs, intermuscular. He also had 2.5 as soon as we brought him in the house, a B complex, sub Q. H did the penicillin G, so I don't know how much she ended up giving him there. She didn't tell me. We don't ask. It's not a thing you do when you're trying to keep a baby from dying, you know. So we'll do basically B complex every 4 hours. We're drenching him with a little bit of water to make sure his hydration's coming up slowly. We want him to get him to the point where his body temperature is normal and he's maintaining it, and then we can start fooding him. I have very guarded on this one. Very guarded. So we'll keep him warm, we'll keep him comfy, we'll keep him hydrated. Keep everything going in that needs to go in to bring him back from polio issues. Hopefully he'll be able to regain function on this side of his face. Hopefully it won't be permanently paralyzed. And we'll go from there, guys.